I see so much demand for Mbappe, for Messi, for these Ronaldo, these three top players in the world right now. And I mean, it makes me guess if, I mean, and I think this is probably the challenge in the soccer market. Which card should you buy from each player? There's so many cards from Ronaldo, and there's a lot of research to do as well of all of these players. So when, let's say, the players are young, Mount, Davies, David, there's not much, not as many cards to do research for. And I'd rather, let's say, and I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, and you can probably tell me, but I'd rather buy a lot of cards, a lot of Jonathan David cards when you know his value is only going to go up. And same thing for Alphonso Davies, and same thing for Mason Mount, even though Mason Mount is already a star. I was talking about Karim Adeyemi, who's probably going to get transferred to Dortmund to replace Haaland, who's going to move to another club as well. So, I mean, instead of buying, and I mean, Erling Haaland is probably the most hyped player on the planet right now, even more than Mbappe. But I mean, yeah, the research, I'd rather buy these guys and, flip some, keep some long-term investment, and then be able to buy something from Mbappe or Messi that is that I can think has a value long-term and also can be flipped as well. You know what I mean? So having
Yeah.
these kind of goats in my portfolio is important, but as well as I see every day when you look at Facebook groups, when you look at Discord chats, when you look at, eBay, there are so many cards for sale that I think you just get lost and overwhelmed by all of this, which made me realize that I wasn't probably ready to pull the trigger on a good Mbappe card.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I break down what you're saying where it's like competition among cards can sometimes water down the market for a particular player because yeah, if someone's after a Ronaldo or a Messi, for example, there's so many sets, and even Neymar, like there's so many sets that these guys have been in, and for a novice to come in and buy a GOAT card, they might gravitate towards the less expensive cards, thinking that the price on those cards are going to rise. And I'm a little bit concerned for people that are thinking like that, because what they're not really realizing is that there's so much competition among cards for the same player that have been around for a long time, and stickers for the player that have been in players that have been in multiple World Cups, that have been in multiple sets throughout the world. Panini has just started to release sets in America, and Topps has just started to release like some MLS sets in America. And so I think doing a little bit of research on who's already established as a player, who's still young, who is in maybe the least amount of sets but still has a good amount of cards, like maybe 6 to 12 solid cards versus like 60 cards, I think is a strategy in and of itself that you're bringing to the table here that's very valuable to the audience. So a guy like Karim Adeyemi fits the profile. He fits the profile. He's in Bundesliga. Like you said, he might get transferred to a better team in Bundesliga. He's got a rookie card, Topps Chrome, UEFA Champions League rookie card, a base and a refractor that are both really, really affordable. I think he's 20 years old. So to me, we talk about portfolio management, right?
Yeah.
He's a great flyer. He seems like a great flyer for your portfolio, where Mount's a little bit of a level up from that, right? So it's almost like, because you asked the question in the Facebook group, like, what do you think of both of these guys? To me, it's not an either or. It's kind of like they both have their own fit, right? Like you can get Adeyemi refractor raw right now for between $12 and $25, which to get to take a flyer on a guy like that and have it graded at SGC, possibly get a 9.5 or a 10. It's not going to take very much for you to make money on a card like that. And that's kind of what I think you need to think about. So I think you brought up a great point. It's like lack of competition within a certain player's ecosystem of cards is something to research and something to look at when you're going to buy into a player, versus like when I do the sports card investment report and I look at a guy like Messi or Ronaldo, they have a ton of cards. Neymar has a ton of cards. My job when I put together that report is to tell people, is to filter down the amount of cards and say, you really should only focus on maybe buying these cards. And here's why versus all these other cards.
Yeah, that's what I
And if you're
like
going to
about the
buy
report.
something from all these other cards, you better buy it for like this particular reason, right?
Yeah, that's what I like about the report. And as well, I mean, there's players, call me crazy, but there are players in the ones we named that I don't really believe in. I mean, if I get a good deal and I think I can flip a Holland card, I'm probably going to do it. But long-term investment, I mean, the guy is probably never going to make the World Cup. I mean, he's still young. Well, young players are always a risk, right? Because we don't know. They haven't proven a track record over like 10 seasons or something. I spoke with people in Europe that were having Messi cards that had a lot of value when he was at Barcelona, and then he transferred to PSG, and the value dropped. And now, what are you're gonna do with Messi at his age? So is it a good long-term investment to buy right now Messi, now that the value dropped after his transfer to Barcelona? Is he going to transfer to another club and try to win the championship after? I doubt it, because I think Kylian Mbappe is going to Real Madrid. So because exactly that Messi transferred to PSG. So we'll see how that holds. So I mean, when I see that as an investor, I see a lot of risks, and I don't know also the legacy that Messi's going to bring to the table in the years to come. I mean, Neymar, there were a lot of speculation that Neymar wanted to be transferred in the MLS because he wants to have a shorter season and work less. So, I mean, when you see this guy who's still young saying things like that, you're wondering, should I invest in this player long term? Kylian Mbappe is a whole different story. I would probably invest in the guy, but once again, which cards are the best? And I mean, I'm going to refer to the report for that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for saying that about the report. And I think like that's why Mbappe is number 5. I think he's in the top 10 on the report, and Haaland is between 30 and 35, basically because I subscribe to the same philosophy you do when comparing the two guys. Haaland, Sports Card Strategy Show, Paul Hickey with nooffseason.com. Special guest co-host Greg Lanctot. We're going to definitely have him on again, like he said, next month. Brought to you by marketmoversapp.com by Sports Card Investor. We really want you to go there and use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, to save 20%. And of course, Greg and I want you to check out the Sports Card Investment Report at nooffseason.com and join the Facebook group with us. So to find the Facebook group, easiest thing to do is just go to sportscardstrategy.com and you'll see the link right there to join the Facebook group. We'll let you in, and you'll hear from Greg and I in the Facebook group. So thanks again, everybody. Have a great day. All right, man. Great work. That was fun. That was awesome.
Thanks, Paul. It was a blast.